Hi, I'm Sherry Howard and welcome to Soul Sculpting. In the world of psychological research, environmental primes feel like believe it or nots. Did you know the smell of cleaning fluid in a room will make us more likely to clean up? Or the smell of cinnamon will make us more likely to evaluate this heating pad as more effective. Nike discovered that the smell of shoe leather in a store will increase sales up to 80%. And how about sounds? In a store selling liquors, champagne will sell more if you play classical music and less if you play pop. And how about our sense of touch? Did you know that if I did not know you and you handed me a cup of hot coffee to hold for a moment, later on I would evaluate you as a warm person. However, if you handed me a cup of iced coffee to hold, later on I would be likely to not evaluate you in such favorable terms. And what about words? If I were to prime you with the word professor before you did a test that would be measuring mental ability, you would do better on the test with the word professor and worse on the test if I were to prime you with the word supermodel. If we are given the word stubborn to work with, we actually view other people as more stubborn and we become more stubborn ourselves. If we use a kinder word, we have kinder results. Environmental primes are the things in our world that influence our thoughts and actions. When I listened to the data, my first reaction was, I would never form an opinion about you based on the temperature of coffee that you handed me. Maybe not, but the statistical odds are that I would. These primes have a powerful influence on us. So, how can we use them for our advantage? This 2-minute sculpting project, we will be using the power of the prime. We will take control of one of the primes in our world to become more who we want to be. Step 1, find a Bible. A Bible is full of word primes. Step 2, invite God to accompany you and inform you as you read the word primes in the Bible. He knows a lot about the Bible and you will find that extremely helpful. Step 3, select a passage to read. If you're already reading somewhere in the Bible, go ahead and just continue on where you've been reading. If you're looking for someplace new, you might consider going to a gospel, say the Gospel of Matthew or the Gospel of John. If you'd like to read a letter, consider Philippians by Paul. If you'd like poetry, check out the Psalms. You do not need to start at the beginning of a book that you select, but it might be helpful to start at the beginning of a chapter. Now for step 4. Read for about 1 minute. Read enough to get the context of the passage you're reading, as well as have several prime words or phrases to select from. Step 5. For the second minute of this project, select a phrase or word that you want to hold on to today as a prime. Linger with that word or phrase. Ponder it, chew on it. If you can apply some emotion to the prime, this will make it an even stronger part of your day. And then, extra credit, step 6. Jot this word or phrase down on a piece of paper or some device and put it somewhere where you will see it the rest of the day. I'm currently doing this sculpting project here in the barn as I do the morning milking. And today the passage that I turned to was from Matthew chapter 8, and it read, "When Jesus came down from the mountains, great crowds followed him. A leper came up to him and knelt before him, saying, 'Lord, if you will, you can make me clean.' Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, 'I will be clean.' And immediately his leprosy was cleansed." Several word primes called out to me from this passage. The prime I selected today was the words, "I will." I jotted it down on a paper to remember. What words jumped out to you? This project will increase our connection to God as we relate to God through Scripture. And we will increase our thriving as we take charge and create a prime that influences us in the direction that we want to move. And this 2-minute effort will increase the thriving of others because our thriving is contagious. 2 suggestions. First, because we are working with tiny sound bites from Scripture, it is easy to take words out of context. And when words from the Bible are taken out of context, this can lend to some odd interpretations of Scripture. So please be careful to be aware of the context that you're reading in. Second, some passages of Scripture are more examples to avoid than examples to follow. And if you happen on one of these, for example, say the passage was about cruelty, you might want to change your word prime to the opposite, to a more positive word like, "Today I choose kindness." So our project is 1, get a Bible, 2, invite God's direction, 3, read a passage for about 1 minute, 4, find and create a word prime from the passage, 5, linger with that word for around 30 seconds. And then finally, for extra credit, jot it down so that you can remember it and see it later in the day. Thank you so much for joining me. May we increase in our ability to create the primes in our world and increase in our ability to relate to God through Scripture. Thanks. Bye-bye.